right, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to get into how Bahashem El Shai, is creating planets right now. Yahweh Shai and the angels are constantly creating. They're constantly creating. So this is what we're going to talk about. The hopeful elect, are going to be able to enjoy these things the first round. Alright, second round, after we get the kingdom, alright, the 2/3 are going to come back in the kingdom when when they have children, and so the other planets are for the Israelites, so you can understand. So this is what we're going to go into. Alright, it's our it's everything that we're about to inherit. Alright, St. John chapter 14 verse 1 on down. Let not your heart be troubled. So stop right there, meaning your mind. Alright, because we're about to inherit, us Israelites, who are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? So we are about to inherit not only the planet Earth, but other planets, so you can understand. Ye believe in the Most High Yahweh, believe also in me. So let not your heart be troubled, meaning your mind. Because remember at the end, remember who we serve. Alright, it's the main thing. Forget everything out here, because everything in this world is a distraction. It's against Yahweh Bahashem El Shai. Alright, you got many unclean spirits out here, trying to distract you and bring you back to this world, so just stay focused and on the path, because once you get experience, you get a little season on what is happening out here, so you can understand. You get the you're tried out, so you understand everything has its purpose, and especially those of us that live in America, Babylon, we live in the Valley of the Beast, so it's going to, where we're at, you see, so you gotta always remember that, hey, people haven't woken up. The majority of people, only the elect, right? So, as when you get your experience, you learn to just, it's just, what to put energy towards and what to just, disregard and just keep going, because people are going to believe in what they believe in all the way till the missiles come, so you got to know that. St. John chapter 14 verse 1, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High Yahweh, believe also in me. In my Father's house, are many mansions. So hold on right there. What's that talking about? What's this talking about? Many planets. Many planets. What did Yahweh Bahashem El Shai say?
Whoa, hold up. How did you get this car? Didn't yours get totaled in that crash?
Yeah, that one's gone. This car, I got it with the accident money from that crash.
Wait, what do you mean?
If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Alright, so Yahweh Shai and the angels are creating planets right now. Still always creating. They're always creating the galaxies, is always expanding. Yahweh Shai and the angels are always creating, so you can understand. Alright, so it's right here. Alright, in my Father's house are many mansions, so that's many planets. All right, so this is it's a very exciting topic. All right, because these churches out here don't go into that. That these other planets are for the Israelites. So this is something just to Lord willing, be hey man, be excited for this. Be excited for this because all these things that are happening in this world. Yeah, it's a lot of bad things happening. Okay, that through much tribulation, must we enter the kingdom. But remember that kingdom is coming though. So remember, yeah, it may be a little this, little that before we get there, but it's there and it's coming. The Lord said that the kingdom of heaven is already prepared for you. Watch. See that? So, this is something to always just keep in mind. The Lord, the kingdom, immortality, other planets. So all these little things that happen here on Earth, just disregard it. Just put that to the side, okay? Because it don't even matter. Yeah. So you put that to the side. Hey, it's in the flesh. Yeah, it doesn't really feel good, but you, by knowing these things, Isaiah 33:6, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, because our enemies are going to, there's going to be a persecution coming, separating the families. There's a lot that's going to happen, but so what? Remember, our enemies can't leave this planet. And they're going down. Yahweh Shai is coming with the angels to subject this whole planet. All right, so so who cares what we gotta go through? It doesn't compare to everlasting kingdom. Immortality bodies. If it were not so, I would have told you. See that? I go to prepare a place for you. So, you even have it on this on the fluff news, like Fox News, KTLA, whatever, right? Okay, when you see that, sometimes they say, "Oh, there was a new planet discovered," and all that. That's very real. Okay, how do you think these planets are just, how are they just appearing? How? Because Yahweh Shai and the angels are creating them. Okay, so this is it right here. Yahweh Shai is constantly, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and the angels are constantly creating planets. And who's that for? Okay, us Israelites. Okay, remember, we're going to be able to space travel. All right, we're not going to need to have a space apparatus, an astronaut suit, a space suit. Okay, we're going to have super bodies, extraterrestrial. Yep. Yeah, it's very, hey man, it's a beautiful thing. Verse 3, and if I go and prepare a place for you, listen up, I will come again. All right, so, Acts chapter 1, verse 9 through 11, okay? The same way the Lord left on a so-called UFO, so-called UAP, okay, it's the same way he's going to return. All right, so the same way the Lord left, okay, is the same way the Lord is going to return. And in the spaceship, Chariot of Israel, so you can understand. All right. Verse 4, St. John chapter 14, verse 3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. Okay, so the Lord is literally going to pick up the hopeful elect in spaceships. Okay, the Church of Israel. Alright, you can get that St. Matthew chapter 24. You know what? We'll get it here, God willing, at the we'll get it right here after the 6th verse. All right. So, John 14, verse 3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. Alright, so this is, so the Lord is saying, I'm going out there to prepare a place for you, other planets. And I'm going to come back for you guys. Okay? Yeah. Alright, verse 5. Thomas said unto him, Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? So, listen up. Yahushai said unto him, I am the way. Okay, so not no Donald Trump, America, your opinion. Okay, Yahushai. Okay, he's our Lord. Remember that. Okay, alright, we follow the Lamb. Okay, remember that. Those that are with him are called chosen and faithful. They're gonna follow him no matter where he goes. Alright, my sheep know me. That's why the Lord says that. Okay, because the elect know who the Lord is. Okay, it doesn't matter. Not all Israel is of Israel. So the 2/3. Okay, you can stay there with them 100 days in a row. Go over all these precepts and everything with them 10 hours a day. They're not gonna get it. Okay, all right, because this is a divine intervention. It's a very major thing. Okay, so what you got to understand is that what you have to understand is that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is only coming for his elect, right? Right. St. John 14:6. Yahushai said unto him, I am the way, the truth. So that's very important, okay? The 100% truth, not half, okay? The truth, because either it's the truth or it's not, okay? It's not no in between and this and that, So it's the truth. It doesn't say half, it's the truth. Right there, boom. And the life, right? Because this is life. Okay, this kingdom promotes death, going against the Lord. All right, doing feeding your flesh, doing contrary to what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is telling us. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So that's very important right there, because nobody can right now talk directly to Yahweh. We have to go through Yahushai. Alright? So I have to cut to let me read that again. Okay? No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Right. Because nobody can talk directly to Yahweh right now. It's just the way it's set up. We have to send our prayers, to Yahushai, and Yahushai takes them to Yahweh. Alright, it's just the way it goes. Okay? It's just the way it goes. But we pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But right now, just the way the Lord has it set up, we have to go through Yahushai, okay, to get to Yahweh. So let's go to, follow me now, the book of St. Matthew. I'm going to get that precept that shows you that the Lord is coming with the angels, okay, in those spaceships, okay, the so-called UFOs, so-called UAPs, which are known as what? The Chariots of Israel, so you can understand. Alright, St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 30 and 31. Check it out. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Okay, so Son of Man is Yahushai. The heaven is not talking about the spiritual realm where the Lord's at. It's talking about right here, our skies. Alright? And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Okay? All right, so right there. So and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, because Yahushua is gonna crack them clouds. All right, you know, forget what that dude Yaki saying. He is gonna crack them clouds. Absolutely, very soon. Okay, the wicked, they're on their way out. They have a small little time left. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. So why are they gonna be mourning? Okay, because you know, the world's gonna find out that the Lord hates them. Okay, they might not think that, like, oh, that can't be true. That's just their words. That's just their opinions. Remember Romans 3:3. So what? You know, people say this, they say that. It's all right. It's just their opinion. You know, that don't mean that they're facts, but that's the way it's supposed to be, or that's what's the plan for Yahweh Shem Shai. See? Yeah. Alright. And they shall see the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai, coming in the clouds, the spaceship. Okay? So-called UFOs. Of heaven with power and great glory. Yeah. Power beyond this world. Okay? And he shall send his angels. So who's inside those ships? The Greys, you know, the green people from Mars. No, okay, the angels. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet. Listen up, because this is very important. This is why the elect are very important. And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, okay, from one end of heaven to the other. Alright, so the Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, Yahweh, our Heavenly Father, is going to send Yahweh Shai and the so-called UFO to do what? To do two things, okay? They're going to destroy the wicked and gather his elect, okay? And they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, so his elect, because those are his. Remember that. So, you know, this is why the elect won't sell out. Okay, the elect are they are the Lord. All right, yeah. From one end of heaven to the other, there it is. Okay, there it is right there. From one end of heaven to the other, the four corners of the earth. So you can understand. Alright, so now follow me to Isaiah. Isaiah 44 and 24. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh, thy Redeemer, and he that formed thee from the womb. I am the Lord Yahweh, that maketh all things. Okay, so right there, the Lord, without the Lord, nothing would be. Okay, all right, that stretcheth forth the heavens alone. Okay, so the heavens, all right, other planets, okay, the galaxies, everything that's out there. All right, just imagine that. You know, our enemies. You know, what everything that they receive. You know, they have telescopes and stuff, satellites out there, but you know, they can't travel to these other planets. There's so much out there, but why can't they go out there? Because that's reserved. All right, you know, remember, they're given bounds that they cannot pass. Know that and understand that. Okay, all right. I am the Lord Yahweh that maketh all things, that stretcheth forth the heaven alone, that spreadeth abroad the earth by myself. Okay, so there it is. All right, there it is. So the Lord, he makes other planets. Okay, he's constantly creating, constantly expanding. Okay, so let's go to Proverbs 8.
Were you
All right.
recently injured in a car accident? If so, you need to stop now and immediately call an experienced auto accident attorney. Unfortunately, we've seen too many car accident victims attempt to settle cases on their own without the help of an experienced attorney.
Proverbs 8:22 on down. Okay, the Lord Yahweh possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. So stop right there. Okay, so Yahweh Shai was with Yahweh in the beginning, but remember, this is his works. Okay? Okay? So everything that you see is the works of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Everything. Okay? It's all of the Lord's works. Okay, remember that clown Neil deGrasse Tyson? He said there's no proof of the Lord. There's no evidence. That dude's a complete sellout. A Mason. You know, he's a certified clown. That dude right there, you know? And we'll see what the Lord has in store for him. You know, because he blasphemes the Lord a lot. You know, but that's neither here nor there. We're just going to watch to see what happens to these clowns. You know, Psalms 91:8, only with thy eyes shall I see the reward of the wicked. So the Lord's not mocked, you know? Yeah, people can talk trash, you know, say this and that. It's all right. You know, no one's going anywhere. You know, nobody's going anywhere. Okay? Every idle word shall give an account in the day of judgment. Hey, that's very real. Verse 23, I will set up from everlasting. Okay, Yahweh Shai. Right? Because Yahweh created Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai created everything else. From the beginning, or ever the earth was. Okay? Because Yahweh Shai and his elect were created, were already in existence before the planet Earth was even created. Yep. Check this out. Verse 24. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no foundations abounding with water. Okay? Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth, while as yet he had not made the earth. So before the earth was even created. Alright, before it was even created. Alright. Yahweh Shai was right here with his elect. Nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. When he established the clouds above. When he strengthened the fountains of the deep. When he gave to the sea his decree that, this is very important here. When he gave to the sea his decree that the water should not pass his commandment. So when you go all throughout the world, okay, where you call it like the beaches, where they have water, you know, like a wave and it goes on the sand. Okay, when it does that, okay, it's not, you know, because you got beaches everywhere. Africa, Italy, China, North America, South America, you know, the coast, right? Where the waves, where the water meets the dry land. Okay, so right there, the reason why the waters stop right there, okay, is because the Lord told the waters to stay right there. You know how much more water there is than dry land? Okay? You know, the water can just completely swallow up this land like nothing. You know? But the reason why the waters stay right there is because the Lord told the waters to stay right there. Sometimes you have a little bit of high tide, low tide, but the Lord commanded the waters, and that's what's amazing, the power, you know? Because the reason why they crash like that, the waves right there, is because the Lord commands that they stay right there. You know, yeah, you have a little high tide, low tide, but the Lord, told the waters, stay right there. Yep. When he appointed the fountains of the earth, then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight. Okay? Rejoicing always before him. Here we go. Rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth. So whose planet is this? This is the Lord's planet. Okay? And soon when these Edomites are taken out of power, alright, when they're taken out of power, all that is going to be given to us. Okay, the planets, alright, the planet Earth. See, it was always originally created for us. It's just that the Lord is teaching us a lesson. Okay, this is all education. Yeah. So this is why there's no, this and that, while the wicked are gonna get away, or ain't nothing changing. Ain't nothing gonna change, and that's what keeps the hopeful elect. Okay, those of us that believe. Remember, this is the Comforter, the Lord's words, because you know what's about to go down out here, and you know what it is. See? Rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth. Right, okay? So habitable, yeah, not just AI and fucking that devil Noah Harari. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, it goes, why do we need humans? It's like, well, then why do we need you then? Damn clown. Right? He's a dumbass. Excuse my Italian. Because his conversation, he contradicts himself. He goes, oh yeah, why do we need humans? And then he goes, oh well, why do we need as much humans, And it's like, yeah, why do we need you? Like, look who's talking. So what the hell are you? You're saying why do we need humans? It's like, yeah, exactly. So why do we need you then? But the Lord is gonna exterminate that clown. He has to do 1,000 years in slavery with his nation of Edom, the Edomites, and then the Lord's actually gonna erase all of them. Yep, they're going to be thrown in a pit and barbecued. Yep, yeah, very real. But that just, but the point is by that, because these Edomites are anti-life. They just want to just put a bunch of robots here. They're killing all the trees. They sleep with each other, men with men. Hey, dudes are bugged out. And it goes on and on and on. But they're anti-life. And really, they there you go. And really, they are completely against the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. All right, our Father. So yeah, these clowns now, not only do they think that they're gods, which they're not. They're not even men. These dudes are weak as hell. They also think that they can recreate creation better. These dudes are full of crap, Everything they do is because of the interpretation of another animal or human. When they make robots, okay, it looks like a human, but just in a robot, because it's the same thing, when they do like the Tesla robots. Yeah, it may not have a human face, but the arms and the legs are like a human. So you're still copying the Lord, When they're military, when they do their submarines, it's like a whale. Their airplanes, they get that from a bird. So yeah, here they are trying to say that the Lord's no good and that they can do his creation better than him, but yet everything that they do is copying after, it mimics after what the Lord created. Dudes are clowns, Tell me the dudes ain't no clown. Yeah, but it's alright, because we're about to see their downfall here real soon. Here we go. Let's get it again from the top. Proverbs 8:31. Rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth. So right there, this is the Lord's earth. So the Edomites, you got nowhere to hide, Although they try to, the small hats control the narrative and stuff, All right, and they
Wait.
They
Are you serious right
you
now?
know they go into their underground cities. The Lord knows exactly where they're at. All right, and listen up. And my delights were with the sons of men. Sons. So right there's an S. Okay, at the end of the word son. So what does that mean? That there's more than one. Because only begotten, that means the first. Okay? Alright? Because Yahweh is the first, but he's not the only. Because he has 144,000 brothers. Okay, and they're walking the planet Earth right now. Okay? There's some of the 144,000 that had to go back to the spiritual realm, and they're resting right now. But the majority of them are here on the planet Earth. Yep. Now therefore hearken unto me. So not just, oh, it's what the bishop says. Okay? Forget Nate, IUIC, and all these clowns. It's what hearken unto the Lord. Okay, not your opinion, not what the community says about you. Okay, it's the Lord. O ye children of Israel, okay? Listen up. For blessed are they that keep my ways. So right there, okay? So this is why we are rehearsing the righteous acts and we're following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our capability. You see? All right. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Right. Okay. So this is it. You know, hear instruction, because there's a way to walk in this thing. Okay. There's a way to walk in this thing. It's not just do it how you want and no. There's a certain way to do it. You know. All right. Hear instruction. So it's not just well, shit. You know, I'm gonna do it like that. No, fuck it. That's close enough. No. Hear instruction. You got. You know, there's a certain way. Be wise and refuse it not. Okay. So refuse it not. So don't. You know. So there's Remember, Second Ezra. All right. It tells us that then shall they know it. Then shall they know death by pain. Okay, because people who refuse the word, okay, are going to dwell in torments. All right. And refuse it not. Verse 34. Blessed is the man that heareth me. So it's the Lord. Okay, so we are. Okay, so we are teaching what the Lord is telling us. Okay, His word, not what we feel. See, watching daily at my gates, because we're commanded to watch. Waiting at the door, waiting at the post of my doors, because we're waiting for the Lord. Fuck Trump, America, all this other bullshit. Okay, you know, it's we're waiting on the Lord. Huh? Verse 35. For whoso findeth me, for whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. That's what it's all about, you know, that we receive mercy, because once you begin to be seasoned in this thing, because when you first come in, you're like, oh, you know that you're an Israelite, you're thinking that the end's gonna come like next month, you know. That's how it is, you know, because you're just awoken to this thing, you know. You think, all right, it's about to, you know, you want to tell all your family members and stuff, you know. See, but you know it's not like that, because you know you gotta learn that, hey, you know, not everyone can receive this word, you know. And then you also learn that prophecy has to fulfill, you know, step by step. So we do have a short time left, but things still have to happen in their proper manner. You see? All right. You know how it is. Okay. All right. So, and that's the main thing in this walk, is to stay in the good graces of the Lord. You know, fuck everything else. That's the thing, is you want to be good with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai first. Okay. Fuck your job. Fuck these FRNs, these cars, these houses. Everything's temporary. Okay. Yeah. You know, when you're doing it, you know, handle your business. But no, that's not important. All right. You see? And that's the main thing, you know, because when you walk, the more and more you walk in this thing, and the truth, you know, you learn that you know, yeah, you become grateful and stuff because you see what it is, but also you see, you know, you just, you know, you hope that you receive mercy, you know, because you start to understand what it is, you know, that these people really do hate the Lord, you know, but you also see how grateful, like, damn, because by seeing things, you know, people bugged out here, people, you know, not believing the Lord, there's a lot, you know, you're more grateful because you're like, damn, you know, because out of billions of people, it's like, damn, you know, we know the truth and stuff, you know, so the more you hear too, stuff like Nate IOIC, stuff like that, bug outs, it's not so much like they're dumbasses, but also you're grateful for this word, you understand? Okay, you're grateful, like, damn, man, fuck, you know, because they're like that, so yeah, you know, we rebuke them and say, damn, what the hell is wrong with you, Nate? But at the same time, on our part, you know, we're more grateful because it's like, damn, well, I could be like that, you know? So when we walk out here, you know, with our, you know, the Lord always says, He's gonna give us our daily bread. Like Apostle Gabar says, you know? We know that we're gonna be taken care of. All right, if you're truly worshiping the Lord in truth and sincerity, all right, you know? And you start to learn that with these trials that you go through, because yeah, you may have slip-ups, you may go through hard times, but does the Lord ever leave you high and dry and just completely through? No, the Lord's always right there the whole time. See? So, but you have to fight the flesh. Sometimes, yeah, you know, these unclean spirits will get on you, like, oh, look at, you know, you're not worthy and this and that and all that. You gotta rebuke them, you know. Just maintain. Just hold on to that crown. That's very real, by the way. Okay, that battle, you know, the spiritual battle is very real. That's a very heavy battle right there. You know, but that's why you just, you know, go back to the scriptures. You know, just, hey, do what you can. You know, and that's it. Just hold on. Yeah, you know, you may be having a bad week, a bad month, but you just keep trying to apply the scriptures and do the best that you can. You know. All right. Verse 36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they, check it out, that hate me love death. So we already know what it is. So people say, oh, I don't believe in the Lord, this and that, you know, I'm an atheist or whatever the hell. We already know what it is. Okay? See? So that's why like these false prophets, you know, we just tell them, you know, this and that. You know, even these agents, okay? Because you got a lot of agents out there that's very real. Agent provocateurs, they're paid to, you know, try to upset you. Okay, only if we're like attacked, then we gotta, you know, protect ourselves, you know. But if they're saying all this shit, you know, just saying all this and that and that's let them say it. But what is that to us? They say that we're pieces of shit. We know what we worship, like how Shai said. Okay, these people can say, oh, you're this and that and, you know, this and that, whatever. Go ahead and run that mouth because you're not going anywhere. We don't give a damn what these agents get paid. Go ahead and talk that shit because you're nothing, you know. It don't even offend us because what the scriptures say, if they don't believe in the Lord, especially if they're talking shit to the Lord's servants, hey, you know, we already know what it is. All right, you just this is why you have to you know, you gotta walk with wisdom, and, you know, because when people say things, they're just words, you know. And they think, you know, because that's what the wicked are stupid. Okay, because they really think, oh yeah, you know, I told them off. They think they're doing something, you know. They ain't going nowhere, you know. They think that they're so much better than us. It's like, okay, well, all right, you know, the wicked, where'd you go eat today, you know? They'll be like, oh, I ate lunch at Chipotle. So do we. So what's so better than you, you know? Are you paying taxes?
Hit,
yeah, so are
even
we.
if you were not driving,
all right, when you go to hospital,
you need to
Kaiser,
try this.
So do we.
They want you to skip
what's
this.
What's going on here,
in a
you know?
car accident in the last
you know, what high school did you go to? So do we. So how are you so much better than us? See? Oh, what? Just because you get a check? We get a check too, but we work for it. So, what are you talking about? You know? So when the wicked out here talking like this and that, it's like, okay, well, what do you got? A house, a job, a car? So do we. So how are you so much better than us? You know, let's hear it, you know? See? But you don't have the words of Yahweh Shai. You don't believe. So when people talk all that shit, it's like, okay, but we're right here too. We're right next to you. You know, we're right next to you doing the same shit. You know, and yet you're just so much better than us just because your words say so. How? Let's hear it, you know? Because remember, even you low-level agents, you have no idea what the fuck's going on out here. Okay? And that's facts. See? Esau, he's so concerned that, oh, you know, because we hear it all the time, you know? These Edomites say, oh, you fucking, they call us N-words and wetbacks and shit, you know? You know how it is. All right? Those of you, yeah, you say all this and, oh, get out of my country and this and that, but hey, if your leaders were so on point, you know, why would you even have, okay, your slaves working with you at the same jobs and living right next to you as your neighbor if you hate us so bad? Okay, that's why in the kingdom, we're going to show you heathens and Edomites how to rule. Okay? You know, because you hate us so much, but this is your kingdom, dumbass. Okay? Remember, okay, you Edomites, you want us out of your country, your corporation, but you brought us here. Stupid asses, huh? You know? So that's why we look at these Edomites talk, like, look at these dumbasses. Do they even make sense? You know? It's like, yo, oh yeah, get out of my country, you know? It's like, you brought us over here. What are you talking about, you know? So it's, hey, huh? Tell me our enemy is not retarded. You know? And if they're so much and, you know, they're, you know, if they're so smart and they know how to rule and all that shit, how come they don't separate us? You know? From the jump. Keep us separated. You know? Why does a Trump say, make America great again? Because it's not great. Well, look at your leaders. Okay, you know? Check this out. Okay? Yep, there it is. Alright, because right now, the president, the leader of China, okay, he's saying that America is at a decline. And Trump said, oh, it's because of Biden. But who gives a shit? When you pay attention, okay, all right, these leaders, not only are American people talking shit about each other, but the president, the leaders are talking shit about each other. To show you what? There's no respect here, okay? To show you that these Edomites do not know how to rule. Because at the end of the day, when they talk shit, it's like, you're in charge. This is your kingdom, you know? You guys talk shit about each other, you know? You know, because when, remember, these Edomites, they're like rich kids, you know? That's all they are. All right? They're not manly. They're not real kings. They don't know how to rule. They're dumbasses, you know? They think in their minds that, oh, yeah, they're this and that, you know? They don't know what the fuck, okay? You know, the only reason why they're in power is because the Lord gave them that power. All right, but, all right, this is what you got to understand. This is what you got to understand, because the leaders here are talking crap about each other, right? So when the leader of China says, hey, America's at a decline, instead of saying, oh yeah, you know, well, we're working on it, you know, we're gonna change that around, and by the way, he blames his fellow American, Edomite, all right? You know, the other president, to show you that even these leaders are talking shit about each other, don't they? Salaki. Okay, you know, Kamala, you know, they all talk crap about each other, you know? That's all they do, you know? Because at the end of the day, they may be talking crap, you know? But at the same time, you know, like they're debating. But in those debates, you know, this and that, when all that comes out, it shows you that these leaders and politicians, they're all corrupt, you know? Because a lot comes out, you know, like in the presidency, when they're debating and stuff, because you start to learn about who that president, future president might be, you know? You start to learn about, okay, where they grew up, who are they, you start to learn about them, you know, and you see that they're all sellouts. They're all full of crap, you know? Yeah, you know, so that just shows you, you know, where we're at, you know? So when our enemies talk crap, it's like, shit, they got nothing to say, because This place is finished, you know. America is finished. It's completely finished, you know. Look at this kingdom as a whole. It's a complete joke. Okay, Trump, you know, dude puts on makeup and shit, you know. Looks like an orange and shit. Hey, man, you know, this place is finished. Esau, you're through. That's all I gotta say, you know. You're finished. You know, so with that, Lord willing, the hopeful elect was edified. And just remember the main thing, okay? Salvation is for the hopeful elect. Keep enduring, and the Lord's almost here. We're one day closer. On your feet, soldier. Keep enduring. Shalom.